Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Okay. An-najmu wa-shajaru yashtudan. The plants and the trees bow down in adoration to the Creator, who created the balance, who lifted the heavens and created the balance on earth. We are gathered here to bridge the gap between the secular and the sacred. But another gap that needs to be bridged is the one between sustainability and growth. In this respect, I wish to confess to Iyad that I'm probably here under false pretenses, because I cannot see sustainable development as it is defined today being able to resolve our problems. Why am I talking like this? A much ignored fact is that the growth agenda is joined at the hip with debt. OECD reports that corporate debt is a threat to global economy. This is estimated at 1.3 trillion and growing. IMF reports that global debt has reached an all-time high of 124 trillion in nominal terms, the equivalent of 225% of GDP in 2017. The UK charity Oxfam reports that last year, 2018, the poorest half of the world became 11% poorer, while billionaires' fortunes rose 12%, or 2.5 billion every day. Bearing in mind, some of the poorest population in the world live on the edge of the rainforests. To put it bluntly, the kind of solutions we have so far produced to unstitch this unprecedented global crisis goes nowhere near resolving the issues we are confronted with. We are tinkering with technicalities. We need to keep our nerve and be daring, for we need alternatives to our inherited, out-of-date political economy. Come August, we will have consumed a whole year's worth of rapidly declining scarce resources, most of it, the lion's share of which, will be soaked up by the developed world. So most of the rainforests that are being destroyed will be soaked up by the developed world. Competing politics between capitalism versus socialism is out of date. We are in a world of competing politics, which promises people the nirvana, the heaven, the Jannah that is to come, and that may never come. Left-wing, right-wing politics is out of date. We need to redefine buzzwords such as prosperity, progress, development, economic growth, if not ditch them altogether, and replace them with one idea, and that is global equity. Oxfam observes pathway towards a sustainable future is to be found in a democratic and redistributing downscaling of biophysical size of the global economy. That's one way to save the rainforests. The aspirations of the people of the developing nations for a better life can only be met, given the current state of the planet, if the problems of overdevelopment in richer countries can be resolved. Now, who's going to build this cat? Oxfam again reminds us that the poorest half of the global population, around 3.5 billion people, are responsible for only around 10% of global emissions attributed to individual consumption. The UK-based New Economics Foundation observes nothing short of a great transition to a new economy is necessary and desirable, and also possible. Business as usual has failed, yet prime ministers, finance ministers, and governors of central banks are still running around trying to allay the fears and convince us that this is not the case. The problem is systemic. Lifestyle change is now urgently called for if we are to avoid planetary collapse. If you have been listening, thank you.